Iko hapa. Imekuja hapa. Ni gani? Hebu punguza hii music ya aux. Kutoa tu kwa aux. Music yangu tutoa kwa aux. Toa aux music yangu, toa aux music. Daddy, kuna kamera moja hapa. Kuna kamera moja, there's a third camera. Unafaa kuambia mwalimu. Hebu kama mnasikia online, mniuliza kama wanasikia online sound. Hata wacha, tutajua tu sasa. Naona venye nakatakata. Umenizima box ya music kwangu hapo na simu. Si itaenda kwa speakers kwa sababu inakuja kwa mixer yako. Umeituma hivi tena? Sasa imanage aje? Ifai kwenda kwa speakers by the way. Ifai kwenda kwa speakers. Sijui mimi natumia hii. Ile kwa nini? Hata sound yako naisikia. Hata hii nasikia. Umenitoa? Yangu ya hii hii isikuja hapo. Umeitoa? Nani anaweza nisaidia na headphones? Hebu zima music kabisa kwa nini? Ni wale wanaimba. Hebu watoe kidogo. I want to know if there is really sound outside there. Sijui nani anaweza nisikizia YouTube. Nisikizia watu online ama. Nimefanya. Nimepata ya huyu madam. Because naona hapa aux 2 inaleta sound vizuri sana. Let me see.
Thank you. How are you?
Welcome.
Asante.
Welcome to the official launch of Nyumba Mkononi. Kindly introduce yourself.
My name is Grace Kaume.
Okay.
Yes.
And whom do you represent this evening?
I represent the Federation of Kenya Employers.
All right.
Basically, we are the apex body for employers in this country.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so we represent really interests of
Yeah.
employers, and so we are here to look out for what is in it for them.
So you believe that Nyumba Mkononi has the best interest for your employers?
From what I saw,
Yeah.
really, we are all talking about, housing, and it's a need for every person. So
Very true.
definitely, I think there is something in it for employers.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. I will let the usher to assist. Okay. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, and you? This is the commentary section.
Okay.
Please introduce yourself.
My name is Beth Mbuitu,
Okay.
CEO Association Matatu Operators, and I'm humbled to be part of the great initiative for Nyumba Mkononi.
Yeah.
And we are hoping that with God's grace, everything will be fine.
Amen.
Amen.
Any expectations for the evening, especially for the people you represent here?
Yes, that is that is the area whereby we have the 80% that dominate the industry in the transport sectors.
Yeah.
Those are the drivers and conductors.
Yeah.
And basically they are in the informal sector.
Sure.
So I feel it's a honor because they can be able now to own houses even without, having to wait, looking for loans and everything. It's cheaper here. Yeah, it becomes cheaper and easier. Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming. I believe that your expectations are going to be met by the end of the evening.
Yes.
Please have your way inside.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. So not everyone can afford a loan. Our credit scores and our credit ratings in Kenya are I know mine is terrible. So I want a place, I want a platform that is going to cater for my needs without really giving me that loan, without asking me or requiring me to take a loan. I want a place that I can be comfortable to put that 50 shillings that I get a day, that 100 shillings that I get a day. I'm not going to spend that money in other things, but to grow my home ownership dream. Yes. Welcome. Welcome to the commentary section. We will take a photo here.
Yes.
This is where we smile at the camera.
Yeah.
Yes, you can remove your mask. Just wait.
But wait on.
All right. I just want to know, I need you to introduce yourself to me.
Yes. Okay.
Who
And
you
then?
are, who you represent this evening, and just your expectation for the evening. Yes.
Okay, guide me.
So, first, who are you? Your name?
My name is
Jonathan
Hesbon Moita. I represent Makiga.
Okay.
Like that.
And who do you represent this evening?
But I don't want it to be taken right now. We will take it after you prompt me.
Oh, nice. All right. And what do you expect this evening by the end of the Nyumba Mkononi launch? What is your expectation?
Okay. My names are Hesbon Moita from Makiga Engineering. Yes. And we have come here for the launch of Nyumba Mkononi, and we intend to work together and collaborate together in giving and making the housing to be affordable in Kenya. Makiga Engineering, they make the machines which makes the blocks, which makes an affordable housing and quality ones. Those are the things that we do, and I'm here for the same.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for what you're doing. You are one of those people who are inspiring Kenyans to want to have their homes. So we are very glad that you are here and you have partnered with us. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the official launch of Nyumba Mkononi. I am very fine. And you?
I'm well.
All right. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Mary Were from Crown Paints.
From where?
Crown Paints. A PR executive from Crown Paints.
All right. Karibu
Yeah.
sana.
Asante.
Tell us what you feel Nyumba Mkononi is going to do for Kenyans today.
Just create, I hope it would open affordable housing or create affordable housing for a majority of Kenyans who need that basically, because housing is very expensive actually Kenya is one of the higher rated African continents in terms of housing. So if that can be accessible for some homeless slum dwellers, it would be really amazing.
It will be the game changer in short.
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
You can proceed to get inside. I think she's going to be helping you to.
Thank you.
Talking about our partners. These are partners that you can rely on. These are partners that you can rely on their materials. Karibu sana. Hi.
Hi.
Karibu, welcome.
Asante.
This is the commentary section.
Okay.
Yes, you mind introducing yourself?
My name is Grace.
Yes.
They'll see this or I put
No,
this
it's
on.
fine. It's fine.
My name is Grace. I am from Makiga.
All right.
We do interlocking blocks, the stabilized soil technology.
Okay.
We are very excited about Nyumbani Mkononi and the idea, the platform to unite Kenyans so that we can get a platform where people can just construct, save and buy things pole pole until they construct. Yeah.
That is very true.
Thank you
so much for coming. I will allow you to get inside.
Thank you.
Platform that allows you to buy your materials. How is the question? Stay tuned for that. Can you take a photo?
Getting tired?
Unajua nimeshika nimesimama.
You should go to the basket. Let me ask for the basket first. You really don't want to?
Please. Okay,
kama mtu anayekwenda na nguvu za damu. Hiyo promisi ya gari si nzuri, kwa sababu gari haiamiliki. Kusema kweli, gari si kama mtu anayekwenda na nguvu za damu. Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari, niende Nakuru nikamwone mpenzi wangu. Aliniandikia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Taxi driver, nikomboleshe gari, niende Nakuru nikamwone mpenzi wangu. Aliniandikia nifike Jumamosi, nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Nami sitaki kuvunja promisi. Oh, pirates, yes, they brought by, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit, and my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We fought in this generation triumphantly. Now won't you help to sing this song of freedom and all I've ever had? Redemption song and all I've ever had. Redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop at the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Hi, some say it's just a part of it. 'cause got to fulfill the book. And won't you help to sing this song of freedom and all I've ever had? Redemption song and all I've ever had. Redemption song, so all I've ever had. Redemption song. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of them can stop all the time. How long shall they kill our prophets? While we stand aside and look high. Some say it's just a part of it. You've got to fulfill the book. And won't you help to sing the song of freedom?
Makiga, our expectations
All
for the
I-
evening.
And why even
And why we want exact what?
to partner with
Nyumbani Mkononi. Nyumbani ama nyumba?
Nyumba Mkononi.
Nyumba Mkononi.
Your house kwa simu.
Sawa. We start?
Yes, you can start.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. So, is the auto okay?
Let him start.
Yes, sir.
I am Jonathan Hesbon Moita, from Makiga Engineering Company.
No, start that from Makiga building.
Yeah, Makiga Building, because
Let's start again. So you cut and edit.
yeah,
Fine, that's fine.
yeah. So we are. I'm Hesbon Moita from Makiga Building Company. That is doing the work of making not only the machines for making the stabilized blocks, interlocking soil stabilized blocks. That is what the machines they do. And with those blocks, we build also affordable housing. And that is what we do. And that is why we have come here to collaborate and also partner in a way with Nyumba Mkononi. And that is why we have come. And we are finding that we are going to do something very great for Kenyans, not only in Nairobi region, but for Kenya in general. Yes, yeah, so.
It's a platform that is going to help so many people.
Yeah.
We all have dreams of having our homes, but sometimes we don't know how to start.
Yes.
So I believe this is the platform of starting. This is a platform that can guide you on how you can start, how you can even finish having that home, right?
Yes.
And Nyumba Mkononi has come up with a platform where Kenyans can buy their building materials, but in bits, pole until they get there. And that is why Makiga Building, we are coming on board so that if someone wants to do their houses with the interlocking blocks, which is affordable housing for us, then they will have the same platform to do it in bits or in installments.
What I like about Nyumba Mkononi is the partners that it is partnering with. We are partnering with reliable people in the market to give quality and affordable materials for construction houses, right?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for coming. I believe we are going to get more during the event. So I think for now.
She is Grace.
All right. Yeah, she told me she's great.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
We
thank
met.
you so much.
Okay, thank you so much.
My name is Roslyn Modani. I'm from Crown Paints. I'm the PR manager, Crown Paints. Yeah.
Please share your expectations for the evening.
I think when we heard of Nyumba Mkononi, we deal with pains in housing. So we are very excited to be part of this event because we supply paints from high-end to middle class, to affordable homes. We've done a few projects with affordable homes, so we thought we should be part of this as well. And Nyumba Mkononi, affordable homes, come on, who doesn't want to own a home in Kenya? Everyone wants to own a home.
Affordably.
Yes.
That is where you come in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I think you can use that.
This side.
Here. This side is also okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No cry. No woman, no cry.
Present Mabati Rolling Mills.
All right.
Yes.
What is your expectation for this evening?
Well, I'm looking forward to the innovations that will be showcased today, and looking forward to partner also with this initiative, because housing is a key need for everybody in the world, not just Kenyans, it's everyone in the world. So anybody who has ideas that can make it easier and better, happy to be part of the day.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah. Okay.
So we can proceed. Okay, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
Would burning through the night. Then we would cook cornmeal porridge. I sail which I'll share with you. At my feet is my only courage. And so I've got to push on through. No woman, no cry. 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 Oh, no woman, no cry. gonna be alright. Everything is 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 gonna be alright. Be alright. Everything is gonna 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 what? Yeah. Oh, pirates, yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit.
Is our trivia today. Please go to our YouTube. Our YouTube is Nyumba Mkononi. Nyumba Mkononi. Subscribe. Remember to subscribe. You will catch us live there. On the comment section, you will find a link. Click on that link. Click on that trivia. Answer as many questions about Nyumba Mkononi. Answer as many questions as you can. Answer as many questions as possible, because the winner with the highest rates, actually 2 winners with the highest rates, is going to get 1,000 Kenya shillings, Bob, tonight. That is 1K. I mean, 1K si ndio kusaidia hata kuanza kununua mabati leo. So please, make sure to subscribe, make sure to click on the link and answer as many questions as possible on the trivia.
Saying this is my message to you. Saying don't worry about a thing. Everything is gonna be alright. Oh, saying don't worry about a thing. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, I rise up this morning and I smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds, each by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody so pure and true. Saying this is my message to you. Oh, I rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. 3 little birds, each by my doorstep, singing sweet songs, a melody so pure and true. Saying this is my message to you. Saying don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Saying don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Saying don't you worry about a thing. And every little thing is gonna be alright. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. And oh, every little thing is gonna be alright. Oh, every little thing is gonna be alright.
Nyumba Mkononi will assist me to buy materials wherever I am. If I'm at home, if I have that 50 shillings, that can be able to buy me the materials that I want. And pole, while I'm saving, while still buying my materials, I can envision my home. I can envision how my house is going to be, as big as it is or as small as it is. That is something. Please help me. That is where we go to put all the criteria and how it starts towards building our houses. Is drenched in wine. Had our home, and then there were so many other plots that were vacant, so many other plots that were not yet constructed, rather. So I think I can remember one time where a neighbor brought alikuja akamwaga mchanga at one particular time, and then he stayed for almost like 6 months to 1 year. Akakuja akamwaga mawe. By the time he was bringing this mawe, mchanga ilikuwa imeoshwa na maji, watoto wamechezea. Okay, watoto was us, watoto wamechezea, and half of the mchanga imekwisha. So I'm like, if I remember that, and if I think about doing that right now, that I want to mwaga mchanga with the small pesa that I have, I go and mwaga mchanga in my plot. And then I take some time, of course, because I don't have the money and I don't want to take any credit facility. I don't want to take any loan. Not even wanting, I'm not able to, because siri ni nini. We are not in good credit ratings with financial institutions in Kenya right now. So what is the solution? How can I be able to still be able to save and buy my materials pole pole? Nyumba Mkononi is the solution. Nyumba Mkononi. I can be able to buy my materials using my phone, wherever I am, whenever I want, with as small as 50 shillings. I mean, What Nyumba Mkononi has done is it has partnered with reliable organizations and reliable people to be able to bring you affordable material, to be able to bring you affordable material and quality materials for your construction of your house or construction of your home. As big as your house is, as small as your house is, whatever you envision, dreams are dreams, and we need to make our dreams come into reality. 2021 is the game changer of all this. 2021 is the game changer for home ownership in Kenya. Nyumba Mkononi is the game changer for home ownership in Kenya. You are able to, let me use the word, you are able to buy your materials pole pole in a safe way. I mean, and the best thing is that you can be able to see. You can be able to see you as the customer. Nyumba Mkononi is also able to see. It can see that this person like me, Wamboi, has bought, amenunua mabati, amenunua simiti gunia mbili sasa so far. And whoever, now we have partnered with reliable partners, as I've said, reliable organizations that are going to be able to track what you are buying. And once you are finished, once you are done, you are able to get all these materials with affordable price. What we have done is we have cut the middlemen. Tumekata wale watu, the suppliers hapo katikati. No, we are connecting you direct to the manufacturers, direct with the producers of these materials, so that you can be assured that you get good materials, good quality stuff for your home construction.
Tia is a drum. No, I don't know why I didn't come. I don't know why I didn't come. No, don't know why I didn't come. Oh, don't know why I didn't come. No, I don't know why I didn't come.
Sorry? Yes. If you have any questions that you need to ask, please leave a comment, DM me, whatever. Be One Boy, go to my YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and go to Nyumba Mkononi as well on the comment section. There is also a trivia. There's a trivia. Go to YouTube, Nyumba Mkononi. On the comment section, they have a live right now. We have a live right now. On the comment section, you'll see a link. Follow that link. It will lead you to a number of questions that you will need to answer. The person, or actually two people, tumeona one person is too small, so two people who are going to have the highest ranking, or two people who are going to be able to answer the most questions are going to be able to get 1,000 shilling, not 100, 1,000. And that 1,000 shilling, I don't want you to spend it for sherehe tomorrow or today. I want you to be able to take that money back to start buying your materials for your home tomorrow.
Sakunuba Sajipega. 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 I see vata vata, 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 I see vata vata. Yo bada bada, yo bada bada, yo bada bada, yo bada mama, yo bada bada, yo bada bada, yo bada bada, yo. I see bada bada, 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 I see bada bada. I see, oh mama, yeah, mama, yeah, mama, mama, yeah, mama, yeah, mama, mama, yeah, mama, yeah, mama, mama, yeah, mama, yeah, mama.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Cynthia Nyamai. I will be your host for tonight, and we are about to start. We're about to start, so I'd like to ask you to please settle down, because I don't want you to miss anything on this exciting night. So we are going to start in exactly 5 minutes.
Sakunuva Sachipera, oh Sakunuva Sachipera, Mama ia, Mama ia, Mama, 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 Mama ia, Mama ia, Mama. Mama ia, Mama ia, Mama. Mama ia, Mama ia, Mama. Si pata pata, io pata pata. 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 Nitatembea nikitegemea, nitatembea, oh nitatembea, na nitatembea nikitegemea, nitatembea, oh nitatembea. Na nitatembea nikitegemea, oh nitatembea, na nitatembea, no nitatembea, no nitatembea, no nitatembea. Summertime, where the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Daddy's rich and your mom is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. You spread your wings, and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing that can harm you. Yes, with Daddy and Mommy standing by. Summertime, where the living is easy. Fish are jumping, oh, and the cotton is high. Your dad's rich, and your mom is good looking. Ooh. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. Your dad's rich, and your mom is good looking. No, 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 no. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry I had to end the music, but thank you so much. I can see Mr. Joseph Ogotu just walking in and having a sit. Karibu. For those who are here physically, Karibu. For the thousands who are watching online, we saw the numbers streaming in the last 20 minutes. Karibu. We're about to start. I can see people outside. Please walk in. I do not want you to miss anything. As I said earlier, my name is Cynthia Nyamai. I'm not here to announce the business news for you, but you're lucky I deal with facts, figures, and numbers, so everything I will tell you tonight is factual, and it's for your benefit, because that's what journalists do. And I want to start by asking you to remember this number, 41541. Hash 415, hash 41 star. I'll tell you more about the number. As people are walking in, I want to welcome you to this event, Nyumba Mkononi, and we'll be telling you more about it. To be honest, because I said journalists, we share facts, when I found out about Nyumba Mkononi, I requested that I have to be a part of it, because I'm hoping after this event, if I do a good job, and I'm registering that, and I'm looking at you, Karume, that I will be one of the first investors. I've already calculated the bags of cement that I need, and I've found the land, so we'll be having a discussion about that. But even as I was thinking about this event and looking at the numbers in Kenya, how many homeowners that we have, It is one of the biggest dreams that we always have as we're growing up, to have our own home. If you ask a lot of us, by the time, especially women, I'll speak for the women, by the time we are age 18, we already know what curtains we want. We know the colors. It's our dream. And I remember as a young child playing with the dolls and thinking, this is my house, this is my kitchen, I want a big kitchen. So it's a dream. But when you look at the numbers in Kenya, less than 25,000 people have actually taken up mortgages. It's a dream, but unfortunately, when we look at the numbers, it's becoming harder to realize. And when we look at the numbers of defaulted mortgages from last year because of COVID-19, then it looks like it's getting desperate for us to achieve our dreams. And so when I heard about this project, to me it made sense, because it means I can achieve my dream and own a second home. This is not just for first owners, but for second owners. It's more practical. I'll tell you more about it. And even as people are settling in, I'm hinting, not the two of you, don't worry, but I'm hinting for those who are walking outside to please come in. I do not want you to miss anything. We will have opening remarks from Tracy Ndunge, but before that, I want to answer some of the questions that already some of you were asking us as the event was about to start. If you have any more questions, please let us know and also give us your feedback. We will have on the screen our social media pages where you can send in your questions. So let's have a video a little bit. This will make you want to know more about the project. It's just a short teaser, and after that, we will have Tracy Ndunge welcome us.
Je, umefikiria mara ngapi? Je, umefikiria mara ngapi kuwa na nyumba yako? Are you a family, chama, or group of friends wanting to build a home?
What steps have you taken to ensure that your dreams come true?
So, imagine constructing your home from whichever part of this world just from your phone.
Imagine kubuy construction materials are easy, from as low as 50 bob, ukiplan kujenga pole pole.
Usistress, you're just one step away. Jipange na Nyumba Mkononi and start securing your dream home today.
Join us on the 19th of November, live on YouTube, as we launch the next big thing in affordable housing in Kenya.
Jay,
at the beginning of that teaser, and as I said, I don't want you to miss anything. I want you to find out how you can secure your home today, not when you get rich or you've paid all your loans today. So I'll kindly request that we have that video play again, even as Tracy is preparing. Tracy, enjoy the spotlight. But let's have that video play again from the beginning, please.
Je, umefikiria mara ngapi kuwa na nyumba yako? Are you a family, chama, or group of friends wanting to build a home?
What steps have you taken to ensure that your dreams come true?
So, imagine constructing your home from whichever part of this world just from your phone.
Imagine kubuy construction materials are easy, from as low as 50 bob, ukiplan kujenga pole pole.
Usistress, you're just one step away. Jipange na Nyumba Mkononi and start securing your dream home today.
Join us on the 19th of November, live on YouTube, as we launch the next big thing in affordable housing in Kenya.
Me? Great. Just to reintroduce myself, my name is Tracy Ndunge Mwangi, and I'm honored to give you the opening remarks. So I know it will sound as if Cynthia and I talked before I made my remarks, but not really. She said, every little young girl at some point, I might look young, but I'm not as young as I look, thought about their home. So as I make my opening remarks, I'll take you through a dream of mine that I had. But first, I want to say something. As many of you know, a lot of people here have worked to make this a dream. I'd like to call it an involuntary weight loss program. And for those who are doubting, I am evidence. I'm hoping it will come back in a short while. But I've had the privilege of being born in a construction family, as I'd like to call it. My mother is a quantity surveyor and then majored in construction management. And my father is an electrical engineer, also majored in housing. So owning a home or having a home is something I really dreamed of. So when I was 17, which is quite a number of years back, I drafted my dream home, including its location. So I'll take you through it. And it was this. I would like to build a house in Nakuru. On the outside, I'd have a basketball court, so I was playing basketball then, a swimming pool, a baby pool, shallow end, deep end, a small viewing place, and then into brackets, gazebo, a garage. I think I thought I'd only have one car then, but a garage, a big one, lots of parking. Then I wrote a playing area for my children. Inside, 6 bedrooms, all en suite, a parent's bedroom with a small sitting area, a large TV, big bathroom, small fireplace, with a living room, an office, an elevator. I don't know how many floors I thought this would be with 6 bedrooms, but it would have an elevator, a large kitchen with a balcony, a dining room, a prayer room, then 2 guest bedrooms, a library. And then underneath I wrote verses, Isaiah 40:31, Luke 1:38, Jeremiah 33:3, Matthew 21:22. I was hopeful then, 17 years. I then went to campus and finished and did what was called starting my own business. And then I realized owning a home is more than just thinking about it. It's more than drafting it on a paper how many bedrooms you'd want. That is going to be a much longer journey. And so this is personal for me. Beyond just launching a platform, it tells me that the dreams that I had that have been very specific, as I told you, a 6-bedroom house with a big balcony and a prayer room and a basketball court and a swimming pool. So those specific dreams, as you've had, are now measurable, they're now achievable, they're realistic, and definitely with Nyumba Mkononi, they become timely. So it is my privilege and my honor to invite you all as we launch Nyumba Mkononi. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy, for that. Indeed, I've just met Tracy, so we didn't share notes, but that tells you how detailed our dreams can be. I think, Tracy, I'm going to steal a few notes from you. I was thinking of 4 bedrooms, but I think now I can also do the 6 and a prayer room. And I think a lot of times I hear men joking about construction. I want to comment about the men because it's the ladies who've been talking. I think for men, probably 2 rooms would do, a kitchen and a place to sleep. But a lot of times I hear men, when we're going through the constructions, they say, just make sure the bedroom for the in-laws is way back behind. The mother-in-law should be somewhere way back behind. But one thing I love about owning a home is that it gives you also a sense of security. And it allows you to even take bigger risks, because at the back of your head, you're thinking, if I take, say, even a bigger loan to expand my business, or whatever risk you want to take, at least I can go home and I have a roof over my head. Everything else we can take care of. And in Africa, we can go to a neighbor's home and eat food and probably enjoy their company. But so long as I have a roof over my head, then I have security. We will tell you more about how that can be a reality for you. And as I said, today, not tomorrow, not after you have paid all your loans, not when you become wealthy, but we will be sharing practical steps that can work for any of you in this room. And remember the numbers that I shared with you earlier. Let me repeat that again. Those numbers are very important. *415, *41, and then hash. *415, *41, and hash. Remember also, if you have any feedback, we will be sharing our social media pages. Would love to hear from you and also your questions. For now, I think if I was to tell you more about this product, because I'm so excited, I might miss out on a few things. So let me share with you a documentary that has all the details that you might need tonight before you make that big move of owning a home or another home.
Before building a house, before sometimes even getting land, it's just a sad reality. I have a dream of owning my own home. I wish it was soon, but this is not easy. But for professionals or majority of the people who work in the informal sectors, it's very, very difficult to prove your credit history. This leaves so many people excluded from loans and from mortgages. My best option is to try and save, probably in a circle. I find it very limiting. It might take me such a long, long time, but I don't have an alternative. Owing to the volatile nature of consultancy jobs, it becomes very, very difficult to save because once you've saved, but then it happens that you go through a dry season where jobs are very limited, you end up utilizing your savings and you end up in this cycle of trying to save. It can take such a long, long time. I really hope there was a better alternative. But for now, saving in a circle seems to be the only option that I have.
It's the dream of every Kenyan to own a home. However, due to various reasons, that remains a pipe dream. It's estimated that Kenya has a housing deficit of 2 million homes, and each year, that number is increasing by over 200,000.
Mimi naitwa Dennis Achien, chairman wa United Boda Boda Association. Nabebea pale Koja, tena ni chairman wa state. Mimi ni piwa boda boda, piwa boda boda. Kujenga sio kazi rahisi. Hasa sisi kama wale watu wanapata mapato kadogo na ni kila siku. Umemwaga mawe hapo, pesa imeisha. Unakuta sasa hii mawe inakaa hapo, watu wanaanza kuiba moja moja. Sasa hivyo ndio nilingangana, hata ukiona hapa saa hii bado haijaisha. Na pesa pia maisha naye corona, wakati corona iliingia karibu kila kitu mpaka sasa tumesimama. Hata gate unaona bado, madirisha bado sijamaliza, hata ndani huko sijamaliza, sijaweka tiles. Kuna changamoto mingi. Hii platform imekuja mpya, ni platform nzuri hii ya Nyumba Mkononi. Hii platform kama ningejua kitambo, kama ingekuja kitambo, ingenisaidia pakubwa. Manake ile hasara nimeenda ni hasara kubwa sana. Lakini hii platform unanunua mchanga iko hapo. Kwa hiyo system unajua mchanga iko safe. Ukinunua mawe unajua iko safe. Ikisaka tosa ile quotation unataka, kama ni lori 2 ama lori 3, unaletewa mara moja, unaanzia kazi yako. Sasa hii platform ni mzuri kabisa kwa wale watu wa bodaboda, mama mboga, wale wa watu wa makanga, wale madrivers. Hii platform tafadhali, hii platform ni nzuri, manake hautaenda sara kulingana vile mimi nimeenda.
For many, the dream is still far because the economic conditions cannot allow them to save enough nor access mortgage facility.
Kwa majina naitwa Pauline Adhiambo Ochieng, nakaa Kibira, nafanya kazi ya hoteli, niko na hoteli hapa Kibira, napika vitu kama chapati, rice na ugali, samaki pia iko. Na hii kazi nilianza miaka 3 iliyopita. Mimi ni single mother, niko na watoto wawili, kila kitu inaniangalia kama school fees, rent ya hoteli, na mapato pale ni kidogo, juu saa zingine chakula zinabaki, zinaoza, sasa na mwaga, na siwezi recover hiyo pesa yenye nilichukua nayo chakula kwa soko. Na ningependa tena kuanza kujenga nyumba yangu huko nyumbani. At least hata kazi kama kuna shida yoyote naweza enda nyumbani na ingie kwangu. Nisiingie kwa mtu, niingie tu kwangu. Hii platform ya Nyumba Mkononi imenifurahisha sana. Sasa nitatimiza ile ndoto yangu vile nilikuwa naota. Sasa naona ndoto itatimizwa very soon. Juu kama ni mabati nitapata hapa, kama ni chuma nitapata hapa juu ya simu. Sasa nimefurahi sana kulingana na Nyumba Mkononi. Kupitia Nyumba Mkononi, kununua material kwa simu polepole, niko na imani nitatimiza ndoto yangu kujenga nyumba yangu.
The question is, what happens to these families? Who has a solution to those who have been isolated economically? What of those who have just started the journey but cannot complete?
When COVID was announced, we had such an experience because we were not able to pay rent. We thought maybe if we put things together here and there, with sketchy plans, we can start constructing the house as quickly as possible so that we can move in. But that was not the case. We didn't have like a physical, bill of quantity or BQ. Basically, I was not in control most of the time on how the house would be constructed. A friend of mine advised just identify an hardware, introduced me to a hardware, and then I paid some money there. I remember I lost quite some amount of money, over 200 and something thousand, because the hardware shut down and I could not get the materials. One day I heard about Nyumba Mkononi. Then I said, what? Where was Nyumba Mkononi all this time that I was really struggling with the construction? Because to me it was like a very quick solution, because I can actually build my house virtually. Actually for me it's going to restart the entire process from where I had reached to complete the house. It even gives you the morale to continue putting and redeeming, putting money there and redeeming, putting money there and redeeming. So this will be one of those solutions that can really help us to construct our houses virtually, and of course implement it physically until you achieve it.
I come from a family of 6. We are 4 siblings and our parents. While growing up, my dad used to struggle a lot in making sure that we met our needs. But the downside of it was that he was not able to have a decent home. In the house that we grew up in, it was a 2-roomed house, which we all shared. We all fit in the same house. We shared a room, all of us. And we saw as siblings that our parents have sacrificed so much. We have always wished to build a home for our parents, just to say thank you for everything you've done for us. So when we heard about Nyumba Mkononi, it was a welcome opportunity for us, because we can, all of us, we can easily buy building materials through a family account, which we can easily monitor. Through Nyumba Mkononi, our dream of building a decent home for our parents can actually start to mature and come to be a reality for them.
Personally, I plan on building a house and having my own home. But because of the nature of work, this at times can be very challenging, where you find yourself being transferred elsewhere. You have to use maybe relatives or friends from home to assist you. Not everybody is trustworthy. Due to this, now the piece of land that I have is lying idle. However, I've done a little bit of farming on it up until the point where I can make time and have enough money to do the construction of my house. Thanks to Nyumba Mkononi, I can easily achieve my dream of owning my home through buying materials from my phone, and I can track these materials from anywhere regardless of where I might be posted. Na ningependa kuwahimiza my colleagues to take advantage of the product and its services.
The baby Nyumba Mkononi has been born, a platform that has brought together dozens of players in the construction industry with a common goal of enabling families to have a shelter.
Since we live in a culture where sons are expected to own their own house when their time comes, being a firstborn son in my family, I believe my father expects me to own a house in the coming days. The challenges I face as a student are lack of finances, lack of a saving culture, and lack of a credit score. In the society, nobody believes a student can start planning for the future. We usually live on a daily basis. The little finances we get are used for, we either go for clubbing, are used for food, and for our leisure. Through the use of this platform, I think the little money I have can get implemented into useful things, such as buying of these resources, so that since I'm a finalist, when I finish school, I won't start from scratch. At least I have a basis to start building my own house. Through the use of this Nyumba Mkononi, naweza anza kuweka the little money, napata the spare money into buying materials. Ndo nikimaliza shule, at least niko na basis ya kuanzia. At least niko na place naweza anzia kujenga this house.
Nyumba Mkononi is the first one of its kind by buying and constructing houses from their mobile phones, regardless of their income status. Every Kenyan can dream again. Sasa tunaweza timiza.
A round of applause, a round of applause. Every Kenyan can now own a home. The number that I was giving you earlier on is the number that you can dial and register and realize your dream from tonight. And just listening to the people who were talking, you could relate, at least there were different stories, but you could relate to some of the things that they were saying. I liked the student who was very open and said, we have a problem when it comes to saving. And actually, if you look at the numbers and you talk to banks, you will realize that, yes, our saving culture is very poor. And if anything, one of the businesses to get in right now is letting people borrowing money. There's a lot going on there, which we won't get into tonight. But I also liked the young man who said he wants and his siblings to give their family a decent home. Stories that we can all relate to. And everyone first shared the challenges that they went through COVID-19. We saw the Buddha rider sharing the challenges of the materials that he kept on losing when he would buy and actually save in his compound. But he kept on losing his materials and losing money and losing momentum for his dream. But the interesting thing that I noted as they were talking about their problems, they started smiling when they said, lakini hii app, ningejua kitambo juu ya hii app. And you could see, I liked Pauline talking from Kibera, talking about the app and what it means for her children as a single mother and the hope on their faces. So let me say this again. The number is *415 *41 hash, *415 *41 hash. If you want to register, you can do that right now. And even after this, there will be people standing outside to answer your questions. You can also send your questions on our social media pages. I saw a few people walking in and some that I hadn't recognized earlier. Betty Courier, CEO, Credit Bank. We also have Sita Shah, Senior Affordable Housing Specialist. We also have Sandeep Raichura, the CEO of Zamara. Just special mention. Everyone here is a special guest. And tonight, some of them will be coming up to talk about the partnerships that we have with them. I'm about to introduce the CEO of Nyumba Mkononi, Mr. Naftal Nyabuto. He will be coming up to tell us a little bit more about Nyumba Mkononi and also how you can register with us tonight. Naftal Nyabuto.
Thank you all for coming. I think this is not just an ordinary kind of gathering, simply because what we are talking about touches every part of the society. And they always say that a home makes a society. And if you are able to live in your big walls and the homeless are outside your walls, you are as unsafe as them. And that's how important it is when we discuss about homes. I try not to use the word affordable housing because we talk about affordable housing a lot in Kenya and in many countries. And what we usually don't speak about is how we can be able to make this dream achievable for everybody. The inspiration behind the idea that you see here is basically what I call a story of my father. The story of my father is a story which is replicated by everybody you are able to see in Kenya currently. And the story of my father is how he was able to build a house in almost a decade. An average year, it takes most of the Kenyans to do or build a house. I can say he was lucky because he ended up building, but the journey is what is most important here. From the first time, he's struggling to juggle between the basic or fundamental rights of everybody, and every parent usually does this, tries to know if I'm going to meet the fundamental right of education to my kids, or is it food I have to put, or is it shelter? And that is basically the things all of us or our parents have undergone. And in most cases, you realize the priority goes to us to be able to feed. That's the first thing. The second thing they always think, for those who are lucky to feed, is education. And for those ones who are able to provide the two, then they proceed to do shelter. The first thing he underwent is because of Israel, he could not be able to build a home. The first thing he could do is basically do what we call Kenyan way of building, what we call incremental aspect of building, where is able to save small bits of money, and if he's able to achieve a lorry of stones, is able to ferry a lorry of stones to the home. And the second thing he could be able to do and try to do sand and bring it back. The challenges could be every time from where we lived, every time he deposits a lorry, a month later he could be able to find a third of it has been scooped and stolen away. It's a challenge of everybody what they have undergone. The second part is that sometimes his savings could not be able to achieve it because as more he saves, more emergencies and needs happen to come in, school fees, food. So his dream is always postponed. And I remember this story very well because at one point, he decided that he needs now, he has achieved a little bit of what he wanted in terms of stones and sand. He didn't know that the house needs more than that. What was needed is things that you cannot be able to bring back kwa shamba so that you can be able to store them. So he started a different approach of saving, of giving the local hardware some little bit of money so that they can be able to save for him for the purpose of cement and steel and the roofing. Little did he know that 2 years later that the hardware had to go down. So you can see the challenge of him saving through the local hardware without any security, because that's the only way he could be able to put his money without the danger or him getting the money off to be able to fulfill the other basic needs. That is the story of every Kenyan. The background of that story is actually what we are looking at and saying, the reason why we are bringing partners to this room is not for them to look at this as a business. We are looking at this as a social need, as our social responsibility to make affordable housing or housing in Kenya or give people shelter. I repeat this because I've talked with partners and I keep telling them, we are not coming together to do business. We are coming together to be able to fulfill the dream of most Kenyans, in which if we dependent on the government in terms of achievement of this dream, you know how hard it's going to be difficult for it to achieve. So Kenyans, what we are trying to do is, we are looking at the people at the bottom of the pyramid. I'm now not able to use the word bottom because it's now political, but let me use it for now. So we are looking at people who are in the sector in which they cannot be able to go anywhere and ask for money to build a home because they don't have that credit history. We are looking for people who are making income every day, but this money they cannot be able to save it, because if they save it, the rate at which inflation is hitting the country economically, the money is actually depreciating. We are not helping them. If you ask them that they can be able to save to buy a roof or to buy a steel 7-12 months later, the rate at which the material costs in Kenya are going up every day, it basically means you are postponing their dream. That is the concept. So we are here saying, what can we be able to do in a small way to create impact? That's why they usually say, if you think you are small, that you cannot be able to create impact, spend some time with a mosquito at night. You will be able to understand that doesn't matter, it doesn't matter size and how big or small you are, doesn't matter. It is how we can put our heads together and say, we need to face this head on. The achievement of this, that's why we came together and said, we are not going to do the normal systems and develop softwares and do things out there that people are not able to create impact. Nyumba Mkononi has been created as a social enterprise which has been put together by people who felt the need to do it. And I thank the Boda Boda Association, Juakali Association, Association of Clinic Officers, and a number of associations who we met and assisted us develop this product in an approach that has been developed by them because that is what they want. This product is for them. But what of those other people who are in the pipeline of creating this dream? We have people here, families, who want to have their parents own a home. How can they be able to do crowdfunding? We are calling it crowd housing. They are able to put their heads together and use this platform to build a house for their parents. What about these people who want to build a house for widows or people who are poor in a society? As we said, of what importance will be a nation or a state if the people within it don't have shelter? Why do you think we have campaigns for jiggers everywhere in the country? It's because people don't have decent housing. Why do you think we have housing costs becoming very high? It's because there's not enough. Why do you think we have so much of informal settlement coming in day in, day out? We don't have enough. And we have not given these people the platform through which, from the 500 or 200 shillings I make every day, I can be able to visualize. So what are we bringing to people? I want to quote Wayne Chisa, who said, it takes a society to combat homelessness and a strong nation to fight poverty. And that is where this launch is so close to our hearts, and the team at Nyumba Mkononi and the partners who have come up and say, what are we giving the people? We are giving them three things. Number one, we are giving them a platform through which they can be able to go to get plans, architectural plans. 90% of Kenyans in rural homes don't have access to architectural plans simply because they're unaffordable. We are giving them, we have built an artificial intelligence system to help them get that. A higher percentage than that in this country are not able to even get the bill of quantities, even worse. So they start houses, they get a loan, but they can't even know if the money they have gotten is going to finish a house. So their house is stalled. So giving them access to it. So a Mamamboga who is somewhere is able to access those two major or fundamental things without spending a coin. That is how social this product is. Then we get to the second stage. Number one, we are building an ecosystem of partners and suppliers who now have committed or are going to commit and say, why can't we be able to give access to affordable materials and give them at the smallest units to anybody in this country who want to do construction? It means if I'm a border rider today and I've made 200 shillings profit, instead of me sitting in a bar, the first thing we did is to help you visualize. Visualization means through your phone, you can see how your house is growing. You can see how much cement you have, and you can buy up to a kg of cement. That is the revolution we are creating. It means when you visualize, your dream is likely to be achievable faster, simply because you can visualize, you can feel it, you can see it grow. When you have seen it growing, it means it gives you the motivation to construct and build. And the second thing we are giving, we are going to give the platform for financial institutions to be able to see your purchase credit history, to become as your credit rating or credit history to enable you achieve or get lending to finish your house. That is the most important thing that people who are in the informal sector cannot be able to have. If you have them, I'll purchase materials up to 70%, 90%, or 60% of my targets. It means I'm 70% into my dream. I only need 30% to achieve my dream. If I'm going to be given 30%, I come to Bet Korea and say, I have achieved 70%. Why deny me 30% to achieve my dream? That is the revolution we are creating. The third aspect, which is the most important part, is that we are helping anybody who has a dream to hold it in their hands from the mobile phone, regardless of which gadget you have. For the first time, we are using a blockchain technology to bring together who and anybody, from the stones, from the people who are providing sand in the local areas, from the fundi who is going to construct for you. We are all bringing an ecosystem of construction in one room and assisting Akinyi or Pauline, who is in Kibera doing her fish or her hotel, I'll be able to access them. A dream she could not dream of. Now it is in her hands. And I think that is the story of Nyumba Mkononi. My message to suppliers, let me start with them, is that this is the best time, the only thing you'll ever do, that for generations to come, statisticians are going to look back and say, if we were to build 250,000 houses through Nyumba Mkononi, we have assisted 200,000 Kenyans to build homes without having to look for donor funding, without having to look for money to give them. We have provided them, we have shown them how to fish, we have brought everything to them. They can do it. They have said they can do it. They're going to speak here. We have spoken to them. They have said, just give us the platform. They can do it. That is the story. For technical partners and NGOs who are here, I don't think there is any such thing that can create a bigger impact in the society than this, than giving people the right and the human right they truly deserve or they have dreamed about. For Kenyans out there, we now brought to you everything in your hands. You decide if you want to hold it or you want to drop it. It's your choice. We believe that we can all dream again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nyabuto. I think one of the things that we have to appreciate about Nyumba Mkononi is they took all the challenges as they were even designing the app, all the challenges that one faces when you're trying to realize your dream and get your home, and then they gave us the solutions. I'm going to have some of our partners coming up to speak. That's why I'm standing down here. And even as they're coming up, first will be Miss Beth Mbwita. She is the CEO, Association of Matatu Operators. And as she's coming up, I know that earlier on there was no connotation, we said no connotation on politics. But I was just thinking about one time as a journalist, and we're covering stories on the post-election violence. And we went to Kibera, and I couldn't believe the things that I saw happening. People burning houses, and you could smell death. It was the worst experience. And I got time to, behind the scenes, talk to the people in Kibera, and I said, this is your home. What are you going to come back to? And I asked them, why would you do this? And they said, we have nothing to lose. And the reason why we want to appreciate our partners and let them speak tonight is because as we are working together, and I like that it's not just for making profit, but to make sure that almost every Kenyan can realize their dream and have a home. Maybe now we will not be so scared during election period, because people have something that they can lose. They have their dreams that they will want to protect, and they will want to protect this nation. So that is why we are also giving our partners a chance. And even as we hear from the Association of the Matatu Operators, maybe, Beth, you could tell us a little bit why your association wanted to partner and what this means for your members. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Beth. I'm the CEO Association of Matatu Operators. And wow, Nyumba Mkononi, I must admit, this is a very good initiative. Thinking about the informal sector, because that's where basically we come in as an association dealing with drivers, conductors, the operation managers. These are people who are earning on a daily basis. They are paid on a daily basis, and you find they can't save, and even if they save, they can't reach to a point of, building a house into completion. I remember when Kerry and Winnie came to our offices, and they brought the idea of Nyumba Mkononi. I was so amused, and I remembered of my younger brother in the village. He started a house, and he couldn't finish the house. So this time round, he was, sis, kindly help me finish the house. So, and I questioned Winnie. I wish I had met Nyumba Mkononi. I would have introduced it to my brothers. And for the association, we are really glad because this is an initiative that will really help our team. And it is a good deal. I must admit that these are people who will benefit and they will own houses, even without so much complications of getting loans from the banks, which to them it's a bit tricky. So on behalf of the association, we are glad to partner with Nyumba Mkononi. And as an association, we have the greatest number of employees under the informal sector. These are the drivers, conductors, field and operation managers, working under the public transport sector, PSV as known, or best known as Matatu. It is our sincere hope that this initiative will help and assist our people in owning houses through the program, hence making housing affordable to them. Our membership is countrywide, comprising of several circles and stakeholders in every region in the country, and mostly comprising of Nairobi, which has the biggest number of membership. It is our sincere hope that this program reaches out to each one of us and benefit on it, bringing hope and creating a future home for our families. We appreciate Nyumba Mkononi to having this initiative, and we will work with you the journey to make it a success. Thank you so much. God bless Nyumba Mkononi. God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Royce. Beth Mbwitu, she has set the pace. So partners, when you come, just take 2 minutes. And I'm sure a lot of times when you meet people, everyone wants to tell you the problems that we are having with matatus, the drivers. Please, after this meeting, let's not go to hell with those problems. But imagine what kind of drivers we would have on the road when they have that pride that they own a home, that they are respected because they own a home. This is not just about owning a home, but we're talking about our society and the changes that we would love to see. Up next, we're going to have Mr. Albert Taita. He is the president of Kenya Clinical Officers Association. He is one of our partners. A round of applause.
Ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed, good evening. My name, as you have heard, is Albert Taiti. I'm the president and the national chairman of the Kenya Clinical Officers Association, and also the president of the African Network of Clinical Practitioners. Those are clinical officers and their analogs in Africa. One thing I must say, I've just arrived and I felt I must be in this event today because it is quite important, and especially for this profession. I just want to briefly give you an account who clinical officers are in Kenya. Sometimes in the health sector, if you don't belong there, it is a bit confusing. Because when you go to the hospital, everybody in white coat ni daktari. And I can tell you in hospital we have so many cadres, different cadres up to about today we have almost 42 cadres. When you go to hospital, a big hospital, you expect to get different people doing different things, up to about 42 of them. But I will just briefly talk about clinical officers. These are majorly the officers who normally see the patients. They are the first line to see the patients, diagnose, treat, and either decide the patient will go back home under treatment or will be admitted in the hospital. Unlike what many people may think, clinical officers are not doctors. They are slightly below the doctors. And mainly, many of you, and especially for those who are born and brought up in the rural areas, I know they matured before they had seen the face of a doctor, and the person who made sure that their health is taken care of was a clinical officer. These are people who have made sure that health services are available in the most deep areas, and especially the rural areas. I normally take example of Turkana County, which starts at Kapendo, just next to Baringo, down there, all the way to Kibish, next to southern Sudan, which is more than 800 kilometers. In those areas, when you traverse there, most likely you may not get a medical officer or a doctor, but you get clinical officers who have learned how to live with those people, and they take care of their health. The clinical officers today in Kenya, those registered are up to around 30,000, about 7,000 working with the government, others working with the NGOs, others working with the CBOs, that is, faith-based organizations, especially the missionary mission hospitals, others in the private sector, and I can tell you without any fear of contradiction here, that if you have been seeing private clinics in Kenya, up to about, it is an open secret that up to about 70% of the private clinics belong to clinical officers. They are owned and manned by clinical officers. Getting to our topic of the day today, Nyumba Mkononi, I normally like reminding people, when we talk of health, people just think of a sick person. But when we define health, what is health? It is the whole wellness of a human being, and not just mere absence of disease. You may not be having any disease, but you're not well because you don't have a house. And we normally also say that the causes of ill health and the determinants of the status of health of a people are pure and non-medical. What do I mean? For you to be hospitalized because you have pneumonia, you are exposed to cold, most likely is because you don't have proper housing. For you to be hospitalized because you got involved in a motorbike accident, because the procedures and the protocols and the rules and regulations were not followed. No helmet, no proper, maybe the rules, the traffic rules. It could have cost you to go to hospital, but is motorcycle riding medical? For sure it is not. So most of the things that make us or influence our health are purely non-medical, and one of them is housing. And when we talk of housing, we are talking of so many things, not just the structure, the issue of sanitation, the issue of public health, the proper way of living. There is no way we can say we are healthy when we don't have houses. Clinical officers are not exceptional. They come from houses. They need houses. They come from homes, households, with families, and the families need houses. And this is why when I heard about this, I felt this is a very important idea. The other thing is we talk about issues of health. We are looking at also the ecosystem. We are looking at the environment. How are we interfering with the environment? Nyumba Mkononi comes not only to giving a solution to housing, but also taking care of those environmental issues, the ecosystem, taking care of our environment, and even guaranteeing us that there is a future. And therefore, as an association of health professionals, and I'm talking here on behalf of the professionals in Kenya, health professionals in Kenya and also in Africa, because I believe Nyumba Mkononi should not just end at the Kenyan boundaries. They need to get out of Africa, out of Kenya to go to Africa, because African countries are becoming one. In fact, African continent is now becoming like one country. And even when it comes to health professionals, yes, we are here, clinical officers, but we have so many other cadres who have the same characteristics with clinical officers. Yes, they earn a salary, but salaries have never been enough to help one own a house. Many of them have been earning for years, but they still do not have houses. And therefore this one comes, it is an idea that comes at the right time. It is an idea that is not late, although if it came yesterday, we would have even appreciated more. But we believe that it will help. In fact, it's an idea, looking at the agendas, the big four agendas of the government. Yes, they are called big four agendas of the government, but if you look at it more critically, with or without the government, these are the needs that we have. The needs of housing, universal, accessible, quality, and standard healthcare. But who will provide, who will be able to do all this when he is not coming from a home? He doesn't have a house. When you are not sure whether when you go back in the evening, you'll meet 3 padlocks from the landlord because you are unable to pay for rent. I think this one comes to relieve the health workers. It comes to relieve the Kenyans of many walks of life so that they can be able to concentrate on one thing, service delivery. I feel and strongly feel that this is an idea, Bwana CEO, this is an idea that we should not just leave it like that. We need to take it to the final end. And we need to have it go to everybody. Everybody. Politics aside, anything else aside, I think this is an idea that anybody who minds about our people, who minds about himself or herself, would want to be associated with. And therefore, without saying anything beyond that, I want to say that as a Clinical Officers Association and also the African Network of Clinical Practitioners, if you call me upon that, we are going to take it. We are going to support it. We are going to look at networks so that we can be able to make Kenya great, Africa great, and we can be able to meet one of the greatest needs and requirements of our people. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Taiti. I know today you went out of your way to make sure that you are here with us. And he has just thrown a challenge to us for those who are running businesses and those who have associations like some of our partners here and others seated right here in the room. When you have happy staff, it reflects on your business. One of the mentors that I once had, his name was Naushad Merali, the late Naushad Merali. He had an assistant right in front of his office. And he had her actually for more than 15 years. And he would always tell me, you know, if they're happy, then I'm happy because they are taking care of my customers and clients even when I'm away. And actually, when he passed on and I went by the office, everything was running smoothly and seamlessly. And they were remembering his legacy by treating all customers right. Next, we are going to have Mr. Michael Kimani, the chairman of the United Boda Boda Association. And Kimani, we heard from one of your members as you're going up, sharing his story of how he would buy materials and they get stolen. Tell us even a little bit more as you're giving your speech of how this has changed the lives of some of your members.
Thank you. Habari zenu tena. Nashukuru sana kuwa kwa kamati hii, na mimi ni mmoja wa kiongozi wa bodaboda Kenya mzima, na kwa jina naitwa Kimani wa Aduthi. Bodaboda Kenya mzima ni kama milioni 2, na hao wana bodaboda wanafanya biashara, na kila mwana bodaboda hubeba zaidi ya watu 20, na kila mtu analipa kama 50. Safari fupi sana ni 50. So ukiangalia kwa bodaboda wanatengeneza pesa mingi kama hata kama ni 2,000, na mahali ambao ni area mbaya kabisa wanatengeneza 1,000. Shida tunao kwa bodaboda ni mambo ya management ya pesa. Unakuta mwana boda anatengeneza pesa mingi na anaziweka mfuko, lakini hajui jinsi ya kutumia. Lakini kunao wana bodaboda ambao kama huyu mmoja ameongea hapa, kiongozi wetu wa Nairobi, wanajua kujipanga. Kwa bodaboda, mtu yeyote tu wa bodaboda akiingia kwa bodaboda, nia yake inakuwa kupata nyumba. Lakini hiyo ni fikira tu, lakini kupata hiyo kununua hizo material inakuwa ni challenge. Lakini kuna masako 2-3, moja iko Kitengela, ingine iko Nyanyuki na ingine iko Sharangani, ambao wako na hiyo saving culture. Lakini kwa bodaboda yote anafikiriaga kuoni nyumba. Lakini sasa challenge ni hizi pesa utasitumia kivipi? Wana bodaboda wako na pesa saa zote, lakini unakuta hizi pesa inafanya kazi ambao si sawa sawa. Sasa nikisimama hapa kama chairman wa national wa United Bodaboda Associations, mimi naunga mkono 100% Nyumba Mkononi, kwa sababu sasa hiyo ndio njia. Mwana bodaboda hata ukiwaona wengi wako na fulisa, na wengine hata wanatumia pesa kwa watu wengine. Sasa hii ni wakati mwema na mwafaka, kwa sababu naona tukipitia hii njia kila mtu atapata material ya kununua shamba. Kuna wengi wana bodaboda wako na mashamba, lakini hawajaweza kutengeneza pesa ya kuanza kuweka material. Ile hakikisho naweza sema ni kwamba through our partners, tukigiana vizuri, ati watu wa bodaboda wanaona akiweka pesa iende kwa cement, inaenda na inaonekana iko kwa cement, na kuambia bodaboda karibu nusu ya wana bodaboda wako na mpangilio mzuri, na kila mtu anataka kuona nyumba. Wengi wa hao wana bodaboda wanalipa rent. Na wacha nikwambie, hakuna kitu inaumiza hata kama ni mimi kama mwisho wa mwezi. Mwisho wa mwezi sana sana huaga hatuna raha, kwa sababu anytime unaweza sikia nyumba inakokongwa. Na si ati hatuna pesa, lakini hatujui kumanage. Kwa hivyo bwana CEO, ile kitu naweza sema Nyumba Mkononi imekuja kusave wana bodaboda. Na si wana bodaboda peke yake, hata watu wa jua kali, informal sectors. Mimi pia ni mzuri muelewe, mimi ni coordinator wa informal sector corrections, ambao ni jua kali, hoka na watu wengine. Na wote kila mtu anataka kuona nyumba. Wakati tuliwaambia kuhusu hii mpangilio ya Nyumba Mkononi, hata wao wako na nia na wako na haja ya kuelewa hii. Mahali unaona unaweka shilingi yako na unaona inaenda pale na unaletewa message. Umenunua simiti 5, umenunua mawe 5 na umenunua. Washeni nimwambie partners, naweza muhakikishia kwa line yangu ya bodaboda mtapata, ni nyinyi pengine mtashindwa kusupply. Ile ndio hakikisho. Ile naweza mwambia simiti ni kuisha itaisha, ama ni kufungua mtafungua mabranches mingi, kwa sababu watu watanunua. Kwa sababu sasa hata kama ni big 4, tunaweza sema ni big 4 yetu kwa bodaboda, kwa sababu hii inaweza kuwa big 4 ya kule haifikii sisi, ama zile nyumba zinatengenezwa inakuwa gumu. Tunataka big 4 iwe kwa Nyumba Mkononi. Asanteni sana. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kimani. Mimi nasikia ni kama vitu zimeingia gia ingine. Thanks to Mr. Kimani. Because as Mr. Kimani is speaking, nyuma yake kuna more than 2 million bodaboda riders all over the country. Alafu pia under informal sector pia kuna, lakini nimesikia umesema hao 2 million unatuletea. Si nimesikia vizuri? Hiyo si ni gia nzuri sana. Tumeingia sasa. So now we are going to have Miss Betty Korir from Credit Bank, the CEO of Credit Bank. A round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, so I think for us as a bank, we come in to complete the whole equation. Of course, you've heard about the fact that, this whole idea of Nyumba Mkononi is more or less like trying to bring some abstracts to a reality. And when I talk of the reality, I always say, what you see is what you get, yeah? And I mean, Naftal kept calling me several times. At some point, I really kept on wondering, why is Naftal very persistent? But now I get it. I mean, I get it more than, before. So what it is he's thought about the whole ecosystem. He's thought about, what ordinarily would ail the construction. He's thought about, many times we see buildings that are collapsing. We see houses that are not complete because they don't have the bills of quantities. And he's talking about, bringing in technology through artificial intelligence. I've heard him talk about cognition, machine learning. I think I've also heard him talk about, being able to bring in the aggregators, being able to bring in the players, and, some sort of transparency. I heard about blockchain, really brilliant, because that is ledger distribution, transparency. So, what would impact construction is what I normally call the input costs. So you should be able to say, I can buy cement from point A and not point B because the pricing is preferential. So in short, as Credit Bank, we are very excited to be at the center of this. For those who've never heard of Credit Bank, we've been around for 35 years. We are a fully licensed banking institution, really at the center of innovation and technology. And of course, I didn't have time to really narrate a bit about the bank, but we've won several accolades. We are very good in structured deals where we will be saying that, you don't necessarily have to, use your money upfront. We can connect you. We can actually create a market via supplier, via instruments, and it becomes very cheap. But I think what we are saying today is, as Credit Bank, we want to bring dignity to human lives. There's a good reason why, the whole idea of housing is actually entrenched in our constitution today. Happy to see that there's a lady who's in charge of that difficult docket of matatus. Even when I was young, I really used to be scared. But now I'm not scared. But the thing about it is, just trying to bring sanity around the whole system. There's Jua Kali, there's Boda Boda. It's very interesting, and my colleagues are here. We are going to be talking to you the way we've really been trying to get this association to do things together. So quite happy that you're here so we can do Boda Boda, Jua Kali, Matatus, and everything else. Listening to the gentleman in the clinical officers, as I was growing up, I grew up in a village. And these days when I go to Nairobi Hospital and they tell me you have to do numerous tests and I have to sit there for 6 hours, it's quite annoying because, this clinical officer used to smell malaria from a distance. You understand what I mean? He always knew what was ailing. So, happy to work with the association. I've seen the UN Habitat and all the partners. So I think just to keep it short in the interest of time, our commitment today is that at Credit Bank, we really understand the credit space. We understand housing. Obviously, we are part of, the new Kenya Mortgage Refinance Institution. But more importantly is that, what you're calling, I listened to the student who was talking about the credit scoring. We'll come in and plug into the financial literacy. We'll start to inform you on what kind of volumes you need to build to be able to qualify for a certain loan. We are going to derive a pattern from your bankings and your purchases, and we're going to give you a credit score. So to the extent that that credit score can be shared with the supplier, the buyer, and everybody else, and therefore it begins to give you some sort of a profile that you're looking at. And for us as a bank, I think we'll come in to now just make sure that you're not in that structure that is not complete, because we want to be able to give everybody the dignity of life. Our logo as a bank is our friend, my bank. Our mission and vision is to transform the financial industry through innovative solutions. So quite happy. We are very agile. The structure is very flat. We can actually work together and come up with something. And I'm going to be reaching out to many of you because we need to derive this product that works for everybody. You know, it's one thing to say we're going to do it, but I think for us, we want to handhold you and actually get it done. Thank you very much for considering us as part of this, and have a good evening, and looking forward to taking this forward. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Betty Korir. And I liked something that she said, that it is about giving dignity to human life. I'm about to introduce our guest of honor. And our guest of honor today is Mr. Joseph Ogutu. He is the Chief Special Projects Officer, Safaricom PLC. Joseph Ogutu is responsible for special projects, including foundations. He joined Safaricom as the Chief Corporate Affairs Officer in May 2005 from Telcom Kenya, where he was the Principal Assistant to the Managing Director and Chief Strategy and Regulatory Officer. We have seen him on TV. We know a lot about his career, but all protocol still has to be observed. He then served as Chief Human Resource Officer from 2008 before taking on as the role of the Director Resources in March 2011. In October 2012, Mr. Ogutu was appointed as the Director, Strategy and Innovation, where he worked closely with the CEO in formulating strategic direction for the business and focusing on developing Safaricom's position as an industry leader in driving innovation in products and services. He currently also serves as the chairman of Safaricom Foundation and sits in the board of Teams Limited. Mr. Ogutu has had a dynamic career in the telecommunications industry, spanning more than 25 years, of which the last 12 years has been at executive committee level. During this period, he was actively involved in the reform of the sector, including the drafting of the postal and telecommunications policy paper that led to the restructuring of the defunct Kenya Post and Telecommunications. Mr. Ogutu is a Kenyan citizen and a graduate of economics from the University of Nairobi. So now you know I am leaving you in safe hands. A round of applause for Mr. Joseph Ogutu.
Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me start by saying that I'm truly privileged to be here with you today. And thank you, Sandeep. Sandeep is an old friend of mine for many years. When you see Sandeep anywhere, you know this is serious business. So this is a really, really serious business. If I can start with my own story. Many years ago, as a young professional, married with 2 kids, I took a decision that I need to have a house of my own. At the time, I was living in a company house and in Westland, and I was a member also of the SACCO. And so my focus was actually to buy a house as opposed to building a house, because I thought I didn't have the patience to go and supervise the building of a house. So I visited very many properties as I was trying to identify one that was suitable for us, and I was always short. Either the SACCO savings were not adequate, or the mortgage facilities were not sustainable with the salary that I was earning then. And so the search of the house could not match my savings, and the search for the house could not match the mortgage that I had to pay when you do all the calculations. And so I can tell you today, it took me 11 years. 11 years, specifically from 1994 to 2005. Indeed, I had to change jobs before I could get the so-called dream house. And so this is very personal, very close to my heart. And I wonder how many people have got a similar story such as mine. And what sort of population? You know, I was looking at the statistics. I was looking at 2% or something who got access to mortgage. Betty, I'm sure you'll disagree with that, but I was just looking at the statistics. There are not very many people who can actually access mortgage facilities. So you can imagine my delight when Naftali and Karume invited me, and we had a conversation just somewhere here in Serena. When they told me about this, I realized this is something that we actually need. The president of clinical officers, he said, this is an idea whose time has come. It is so very true. And as I sat here listening to Kimani Wanduthi and others, that this speaks to them, I think we are onto something that is very, very special. But even more important, to see young people leveraging technology in order to provide solutions for current and very specific needs of our people. That you can use technology to support us to attain affordable housing. This is a real need for society today. And it is not just a political thing. People do need to own their own houses. So the team has rightly recognized that this is not a challenge about financing cost. This is an ecosystem play. You need to involve the value chains, the supply chains, and so on. And you're talking about professional fees. You're talking about material costs. We're talking about income streams that cannot sustain credit servicing. We're talking about business models that are sustainable. And therefore, if that is the case, I want to applaud you, Naftali. I want to applaud you, Karume, and your entire team, Jonathan, Winnie, Wilson, Joyce, and all those partners who want to work collaboratively in order to provide a solution that works for our people. You talk about the bottom of the pyramid. I don't like the term bottom of the pyramid, but be that as it may, if you can touch at the lowest levels, then all of us then have a hope. For that reason, therefore, I wish you success. You and all your partners as you roll out Nyumba Mkononi. This is going to open the door for many Kenyans who want to build, to develop, and to own their own homes. I thank you for your kind attention.
All right, the official unveiling of Nyumba Mkononi, Nunua Sasa, Jenga Kesho. I was expecting more celebration.
So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time.
Sorry?
Celebration. We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world.
Ruth Oderai was not able to make it tonight, but she has her representative. Please come on stage. Could you please also have Sita Shah join us on stage?
Let's celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right.
And our guest of honor, please join them on stage for the last photo.
Let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate. It's all right.
Credit Bank, Miss Betty Korir, please join them.
It's a celebration. Come on and celebrate.
And finally, Mr. Sandeep, please join them. A round of applause. We're getting closer to dinner, don't worry. Michael Karume, please join them for the last photo. And Michael Mauricio. After this, Michael Karume will give the vote of thanks. Betty Njage, please come on stage. Okay, we are grateful for our partners. A round of applause as they take their seats. some of the partners who have made this app possible: Association of Matatu Operators, Kenya Clinical Officers, United Boda Boda Association, and Credit Bank. As we come to the end, Michael Karume. For the vote of thanks. And after that, we will have dinner and interactions.
So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So tonight I'm really, really grateful on behalf of Nyumba Mkononi as you joined us with us in this journey. As Betty has rightly mentioned, we want to give dignity to human life. So for you to have joined us tonight, we are really, really grateful. So on behalf of Nyumba Mkononi team and on my own behalf, we are really grateful. In a special way, I would like to recognize and also appreciate our chief guest, Mr. Joseph Ogutu. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and also for the insightful speech. I think when everybody was connecting with that journey, seeing you as a person, the young people we have as a team, we are truly grateful for that. Also, to appreciate is the different associations that have joined us tonight. That is from the different sectors. We are looking people from the health sector, security, transport, and in a special way, I think I want to recognize again Mr. Kimani. I think when we were actually conceptualizing this idea, and you show up in the office, and he's a straight shooter. Today, I think he was being really polite because all of you guys are here. And he actually tell us, mimi hiyo kwa simu yetu hatuwezi fanya hivyo. Our thought process is actually not like that. So we truly, truly appreciate, is it on? So we truly, truly appreciate the insights that you gave us. Even the lady from Matatu Association, she showed up in the office and would tell us, and I was really happy because the associations were not just looking, because as most associations you find them, they are just collecting fees from their members. For them, they always came with this thought: we need our members to progress. They need to look at the end of the year and think, I was at point A. Now I'm at point B, right? So we truly, truly appreciate that. The other partners we'd like to appreciate is our financial partners. I think Betty Correll has been, I think it's the first bank, and I've been a banker before, which is able to make decisions very fast, based on information, and be actually on the spot saying we are either in or not, and we are ready to work with you. So we appreciate a lot, Madam Betty Correll. In a special way, we also want to recognize the different players in the construction industry. That is people in manufacturing in the different items. For example, I can see Makiga there, people in the steel industry, and different captives of industry who are able to support that sector. So we truly, truly appreciate that. I would also want to appreciate one person in between, even before I go to the team. I think that is Njoki Karu. I think you truly actually took care of us in terms of music. You fed our soul as we waited for this meeting to kick off. So in a special way, I would like also to appreciate, I think there's something that Cynthia mentioned, that your team should be a reflection of you. And truly, truly, as Nyumba Mkononi, the team leads the way. So I would kindly request every team member of Team Nyumba Mkononi to stand where they are, please. And as you can see, before you even sit, we have a very young team. But this team goes beyond the call of duty. They are young, they are focused, they are driven, and they don't just do things because they need to be done. In fact, I remember one of the ladies who mentioned, before we proceed, can my mother do it? Can my mother go through this customer journey? In fact, she actually called, Mom, dial *415, *41#. We had a previous process before. And she said, I'm not sure what you're talking about. She picked a marker pen and said, we are going back to the drawing board. So we totally appreciate you. You might sit now. So tonight, we appreciate each one of you who has made time to be with us tonight. I think it's good to see on a Friday evening, there are so many commitments. You made time to be with us here. You took time to listen, and we are looking forward to walking this journey with you. So those of us who are here, those of us who are joining us on our digital channels, we totally appreciate. So once again, thank you very much. Back to you, Cynthia.
Thank you so much, Njenga, Karume. Like minds. But thank you so much, Karume. He is the CFO, and you were able to point out almost what everyone said from the beginning of this meeting. And I have to say, if there is one thing that everyone spoke about, including our guest of honor, and even to Boda Boda and the Matatu, it looks like we have been brought under this roof because we have a dream to own a home, and most of us are even going further than that. We want to make sure that also our staff own a home. We also want to make sure that also those around us own a home, our family members. So let's make it a reality. I shared a number earlier on, it's *415. Please take note of that number, *415, *41#. If you have any more questions, remember you can share them on our social media pages. And also as we're having dinner, we can interact and have more questions. And we will be asking some of you also to just step aside and tell us what did you think about this evening. We also want to hear about your feedback. You heard from Karume, and he said they had a system before that seemed like for some of the consumers it wasn't going to work, so they went back to the drawing board. There's still a lot of time and space for us to go back to the drawing board, because the dream is to make sure that we all become homeowners. And I really like what Betty Korir said, we are giving the human face dignity. So ladies and gentlemen, I can see a lot of you looking at me like you want me to bring this to an end, and some of you are already seated at the table, ready. Please enjoy your dinner. And let's get to socialize. Remember, we're still here to answer all your questions. Have a good night, and make sure that this is not the last time that we get to interact together. For our partners and our special guests, the tables right behind you, table 1, 2, 3, that you can join. Soup is about to be served, and after your first course, you can serve your meal right outside. Karibuni.
Feel free to serve from outside. Feel free to serve your food from outside.